My mother has green arms, not green thumbs. She has full arms which are green. My mother's friends would promptly bring the plant to my mom and say, Suhag, ye mar gaya. Abhi isko zinda kar do, please. My mother would nurture it back to health, only for the plant to be taken away by the original owner. Millennials, we do not have any kind of patience to nurture a plant. We are workaholics, we are working round the clock, or we are just doing something else. कभी ये ख्याल नहीं आता कि इसे जो plant हमें खुशी देते हैं, we should nurture them.
Hi, welcome back to Bifocal Naturalist. 2 years ago, I got an unusual invitation to a meal over a session of board games. I was intrigued and happily accepted the invitation. My father would always nostalgically tell us about his visit to the beach house of his grandmother at Gopalpur on sea. After lunch, his grandmother would take out the board games and they would all play with seeds and seashells. My smart great grandmother kept the children happily indoors away from the sweltering hot sun. My grandmother picked up this tradition, and every year in summer, when we would visit her, she would take out the game of trade, which is very similar to Monopoly. And this is where I learned my first lessons in finance and acquisition. Grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins, we all sat together and played, and we developed a bond across generations. So I was deeply engrossed in my game, and suddenly I heard a sonorous, warm, velvety sound. I looked up from my game and I saw an enchanting and charming young woman. And that is our guest for today, Arpita Vora. Hi, Arpita. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Vijaya. It's such a pleasure. I'm truly humbled. Thank you very much for that introduction. Thank you.
So, Arpita is a voice artist and an educator. And today, she's also ventured into wax melt production. Yeah. Arpita, can you tell us how you got into these board games?
So, like you said, you were correct that, when we were young, in sweltering heat, you can't really go out. So the best way to keep us busy, we would use board games. Now, because I had a sibling at home, my brother, we could give each other company. And of course, our parents also joined in. So four of us would often sit down in the afternoon before early evenings to just have a game of business or, like you said, the game of trade. And we used to have great fun. That's how we got into the board games.
Acha. Yeah, I used to also play Ludo and Snakes and Ladders with my friend, every afternoon.
Oh my
She would
God.
come home or we would go home. Arpita, you're in a very unique profession. So how did you get into it? And can you tell us about your journey?
Sure. Quickly, I'll tell you, I'm a fashion and a textile designer by education.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a student of SNDT University, Juhu, that is SVT College of Home Science. And immediately after college, I had joined a theatre group. I was very much into fine arts, into dramatics and things. So there was this one girl who wanted to get into radio. And what happened is that I'm talking about in the, late 90s, early 2000s. We did not have much entertainment. We did not have these, big apps and everything. We did not even have mobile phones for that matter. So the only entertainment we had was, you remember the Walkman?
Yes.
Vidya? And the CD players?
Yes.
And the advanced ones would have radio in it. So if you don't have a CD or a cassette, you could always listen to the radio. And that was my entertainment while traveling to and fro to my college. So when this girl mentioned about, becoming a radio jockey, I piped in and I said, Ari, what do you need to do to become a radio jockey? So at that time, it was much more simpler, where you have to submit your graduation certificate and you have to give a form application. They will call you for an interview, for audition, and that's it. If you're selected, you're selected. If you're not, then no. So we both decided we'll go, and with God's grace, out of 150 participants, 12 got selected, and I was one blessed one to be
Wow.
selected in those 12 people. So that's how my journey for voicing began. Till that time, I never thought that I could be a radio jockey. And that's how the journey began. So from radio, I gradually came into voiceovers, into advertising, voicing for ads and radio ads and things like that. Then slowly I came into narration. So I worked with a few good channels who are into the travel industry, and that is how I got into it. And then gradually I was offered films and television serials, soaps, and now latest is wherein you have a lot of dubbing happening, international dubbing. Initially, it was only the southern India languages were being dubbed into the Hindi and English, but now we have a lot of international content which is being dubbed. And initially, it was English films which are being dubbed in Hindi, but now we have a lot of Southeast Asian content which is coming in. So I had, I'm very, very blessed and very fortunate that I got a chance to give a voice in some of the characters and some of the very, very good television soap operas. And that's how my journey came into being a voice artist.
Can you give us some demonstration for our audience?
You really want a demonstration, Vijaya?
Ah,
Why do you need? You know me. You know me very well.
But at the same time, you also know that sometimes I do these tiny, tiny impressions, and then there are times when I forgot what I was saying.
What I was saying was that many a times, when you're going from one character to the other, there are times where you take a pause and then the other person is thinking, what am I going to say? Is that what you're thinking, Vijay? Tell me, what are you thinking?
I know you were a big hit for the launch of my book, Chodoshak. Everybody was asking me for the next book. They said, is that Kudkud Kumbha? They said, is
Oh, yes.
your friend coming? I said, no, this is all planned by Karadi Tales. The other was by IWSA. So
Yeah.
their show. So probably next book, So you should be there at that time. See you.
Absolutely, Vidya. You name it and I'll be there. Of course, I'll be there for you anytime.
Thank you so much, Arpita. So,
Thank you very much for calling me to your show. First of all, I'm so sorry. We directly went into the interview. I should have given you my gratitude. So thank you very much for calling me to your esteemed
not at all.
podcast. Thank
It's
you.
mutual. To have a guest like you is a real privilege and honor. Let me tell you that.
Tell the truth. Don't fib. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are wonderful in voice impersonator as well. You have an amazing capability of modulating your own voice. How did you get into voicing, and how did you get into creating these beautiful characters that are there in your storybooks, Vijaya?
No. Let's not talk, but I'll just tell you in a simple one line. When I got this job at St. Xavier's College, I was a bit nervous. So I read one book, public speaking. Instead of studying my subject, I
Oh,
read
yes.
public speaking from, the front to the back page. And that I think helped me. It was
Yes.
really good. Yeah, so let's get back to
Yeah.
you. It's not about me
Sure.
today. It's not about me at all. See, you've
It's
now
completely
turned.
all right. We're just having a beautiful conversation, and
Yeah,
that's all that's happening here.
yes.
But very curious, I've read your previous book as well. And Kurkun Kumma also sounds very, very interesting. I mean, when I was there in the launch, I remember that you two girls were creating magic on the floor. And it was spectacular. It was mind blowing. And I was so happy I'm not up there. You could have given me some serious competition.
So that's all thanks to Karate Tales. Let's get back, Arpita.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So I've lost track of the thing only, what I
It's
was
completely all right. That's so what we were talking about is how I got into voiceovers and me doing some kind of small impressions about some characters I do.
correct,
So
correct.
my repertoire contains I can do voices right from 6 years of age to about 75 years.
Really? That's a
Yeah.
large.
So that is the entire range. What happens is many a times they require artists who can do multiple voices. Now,
Hmm.
of course, I cannot completely modify and change my voice, but I do have this kind of a range wherein I can do these kind of voices. So there have been many a times in many animation series that I have done about 4 or 5 characters at the same time, and I've tried to maintain different voices so that they don't sound too similar, but then it saves time and it saves effort. So yeah, it's
Wonderful.
great fun.
So today you're turning into a budding environmentalist, I think inspired by your mother, So it'll be love. Yes, I know you're growing plants and you're also nurturing her huge collection when she's away, on her frequent trips to scenic sites. Can we meet your mother, Arpita? Can we meet mummy?
You can definitely, yes, we can definitely meet my mother. But before that, I would like to tell you something.
Yes.
So this love for plants is just being inculcated in me now.
Uh,
When we were kids, my mother has green arms, not green thumbs. She has full arms which are green. Any plant that she would touch, and this I'm talking, this is the earliest memory I have in my childhood. My mother has a huge social circle, and most of the people would love to have plants around. The only thing is that they would not know how to correctly care for that plant. So eventually, that plant would wither and die. They would promptly, my mother's friends would promptly bring the plant to my mom and say, Suhag, ye mar gaya. Ab isko zinda kar do, please. And right to the tree, my mother would nurture it back to health only for the plant to be taken away by the original owner.
so it was like a
And my mother,
hospital,
nursing home, nursery.
a nursing home nursery.
Right from the young age, I have seen my mother doing a lot of, so I can call her proper plantsman. She loves plants, but she's on her way to being a horticulturist. Not yet, but she's on her way. So right now she's a plantsman. In my house, I have approximately 65 to 80 plants
My
right now.
God. Uh-huh.
And yes. And my mother, she nurtures each one of them. So now what has happened is she initially told me, Arpita, it's a beautiful hobby. Gardening is a beautiful hobby. It is therapeutic as well as it's pleasing and calming. Why don't you try it? And to be honest, how we call it, the millennials, we do not have any kind of patience to nurture a plant. We are workaholics. We are working around the clock, or we are just doing something else. कभी ये ख्याल नहीं आता कि इसी जो प्लांट हमें खुशी देते हैं, we should nurture them. But then I have now started. I said, let me start small. So I got 1 plant, then 2. Now I have 7. So I have 7 babies with me. And this gentleman is one of my latest finds. So that's how I'm on my way to learn how to take care. Because you know what? I love the nature. I love being in nature. I love gardens. I love mountains. I love trees. And especially I love roads which has, these large bushy trees on both the sides.
Ah.
And then I realized that what I love is not only the shade, but the leaves, the trunk, who very lovingly carries that and gives us the comfort of a shade. And that's how I started कि चलो अभी अगर अच्छा लग रहा है तो हम शुरुआत करते हैं. And that's how I started this.
Wonderful. Let's now meet your mom.
Certainly. So for that, I would need to transport you to a different place.
Yes, a
And
different world
let's meet
altogether.
her. Let's meet her where she's very comfortable.
Ah.
So here we are in my mother's favorite spot right now. I've just sent her to get something. So till that time, let me just have a quick conversation with you. So Vidya, this is my mother's space. And you can see all her babies here. If you see right here, this is just one small part of the major garden that she has. So ये ऐसे हमारे पास 4 balconies हैं. Plus in my hall, in fact, even in my bathroom, I have a tiny plant. That is how much my mother, she loves the plants. She
I
loves
think
being around them. And you won't believe, she travels for them as well. Ah,
I'm very much like your mother because in my bathroom also outside, I have all these plants, at least 10, 20 plants outside my bathroom window
many,
also.
many times I feel, यार ये कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं हो रहा है क्या? But then she's like, Arpita, plant तो चाहिए, plant तो चाहिए. Okay, ma. If you are comfortable with it, I'm super good. Sorry, I'm shifting the camera around because I'll be
Yeah.
getting up
No problem, no
and
problem. I will.
the queen of the house will be coming in.
विजया जी क्या क्या न किया हमने सीतम आपके खातिर हर चीज सजाया है मैंने आपके खातिर वाह वाह
Thank you very much, Suhag. A warm welcome to my show. And it's
Thank
such a
you.
nice, thank you. And Suhag is a passionate gardener, and she's got a
Yeah.
huge collection of plants. And from her,
Yes.
we can learn how to, make gardens in small spaces. She's converted
Yes.
every balcony into a garden, and every nook and corner she has plants. So, gardening in small spaces is what we can learn from Suhag. You're looking beautiful,
थैंक
Suhag.
यू थैंक यू वेरी मच विद्या आपने मुझे ये मौका दिया मुझे और स्पेशली थैंक यू मेरे गार्डन की तरफ से कि उसको भी मौका मिला आपसे मिलने का और बात करने का थैंक यू वेरी मच
आपको ये पेड़ों से कैसा मोहब्बत हो गई?
हाँ यस सच्ची बात है एक बात बताऊं वैसे भी देखो हम लोग प्रकृति से ही आते हैं जन्म हमारा खाना पीना तो एक अट्रैक्शन होता है प्रकृति का तो बस छोटेपन से ही मुझे इतना अट्रैक्ट होता और मैं जब जैसे प्लांट देखती थी ना तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है मैं इसको हग कर लूं मैं इसको मेरे घर पे लेके आऊं मैं क्या करूं क्या ना करूं पर जितना हो सके इतना मैंने कोशिश किया कि मेरे घर को मैं गार्डन बनाऊं उसको देख के मैं खुद बाग बाग हो जाऊं
सो आपके पास आपका फेवरेट प्लांट्स कौन से हैं?
मेरा फेवरेट प्लांट मैंने आपको बोला फंस क्यों है इसके लिए मुझे फंस अच्छे लगते हैं कि उसको वो एक तो जल्दी फूलते फालते हैं और घर में रौनक बजाते हैं इंडोर है आउटडोर है और सबसे पहला ज्यादा कभी उसकी केयर नहीं करनी पड़ती 2-3 दिन के बाद भी पानी पिलाओ वो खुश रहते हैं रोज रोज उसको पानी की जरूरत नहीं माउथ इतना केयर करने की जरूरत नहीं रहती हाँ बाकी फ्लावर के जो प्लांट होते हैं उसको बहुत 4-5 घंटा धूप चाहिए वो थोड़ा डेलिकेट डार्लिंग और उसको थोड़ा सा केयर करने की ज्यादा जरूरत रहती है और वो छोटे छोटे बहुत हो जाते हैं ये ने मैंने इतने लगाए हैं तो ऐसा लगता है पूरी मेरी बालकनी फुल ऑफ ग्रीनरी से भर गई है
अच्छा,
इसके लिए मेरा फेवरेट प्लांट है और ये छोटा ये तो मेरा छोटू मेरा जान है छोटा
बहुत
सा आप
प्यारा सा है,
देखिए
बहुत
जी
प्यारा सा है.
थैंक यू और वो भी विजया जी आपकी तरह और मेरी तरह
Yes, it is green. I think all three of us are green. Our baby fern and two of us. Yes, you're very
Yes,
right.
yes.
So nice to talk to you. And how do you nurture these plants?
बिलीव करोगे इतना ज्यादा केयर नहीं करती, फिर भी वो हरे भरे हैं। जरा सुबह शाम कभी कभी देख लेती हूँ, अच्छी तरीके से कटिंग करना है, ये सब मैं ही करती हूँ। वंस इन अ वाइल 6 मंथ में एक बार माली को बुलाना पड़ता है। अभी ऊपर में इतना उठा नहीं सकती, पहले हर चीज मैं करती थी। और कोई भी डाली दो, जैसे ये कहीं से मैं लेके आई थी ये प्लांट, इसकी
हाँ।
एक ही डाली उठाई थी, आप देखो ये कितना हरा भरा है।
हाँ।
और इसको मैंने पानी में लगाया।
अच्छा।
हाँ, इसको मैंने पानी, बहुत से प्लांट मेरे पानी में है, उसको एक 15 दिन में पानी चेंज करना पड़ता है, थोड़ा सा उसको स्नान, आई मीन उसको बात बात कराना पड़ता है। बाकी अपने आप ही प्लांट। और आप मेरी किचन में देखोगे, मैं जब भी खाना बनाती हूँ तभी कोने में भी मुझे प्लांट चाहिए, तो कोने में भी छोटे छोटे मैंने प्लांट रखे। मेरे बाथरूम में प्लांट है, मेरे बेडरूम में, अर्पिता के बेडरूम में। आप हर जगह, जहां आप कभी आओ मेरे घर पे,
हाँ।
मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा, आपको ऐसा लगेगा कोई गार्डन में बैठे हैं। बस मुझे ये चाहिए थी विजया जी, कि बाहर जाने से बेहतर है मैं घर में बैठूं तो मुझे गार्डन का माहौल मिले।
एब्सोल्युटली। और जब भी आप बोल रहे थे ना, वाटर हैज टू बी चेंज्ड व्हेन यू पुट प्लांट्स इन वाटर, अदरवाइज मस्किटोज विल ब्रीड। तो आप हमेशा चेंज करते रहते हैं पानी। So I want to know, you travel to so many places. Which are the
यस,
places which impacted you the most? Which did you like the most?
I like fun. I like friends, just like you, Doreen, do full group, or just like friend to full family, whole family. Just
हाँ।
like एक बार हम लोग घूमने जाते हैं ना, तो ऐसा
हाँ।
लगता है फुल फैमिली आता है। नो डाउट अर्पिता को मिस करती हूँ, पर
हम्म।
कोई ना कोई बेटी मिल जाती है तो फिर उसको मैं एडजस्ट कर लेती हूँ कि हाँ मेरे साथ अर्पिता है। मैं
हाँ।
डोरिन के साथ बहुत से जगह पे घूमने के लिए गई, पर
अच्छा।
मेरा फेवरेट आप बोलो हिमालय,
हाँ।
कुल्लू, मनाली। सबसे पहले मुझे हिमालय पसंद है। वो अपने आप को एक अट्रैक्शन है और वो खींचता है,
हम्म।
हिमालय अपनी तरफ खींचता है। और ऐसा लगता है कोई डेडी दीदी कैसे रक्षा करता है, हिमालय हमारा भारत का टोटली एकदम रक्षा करता है। और बहुत अच्छा लगता है मुझे हिमालय, बर्फ, सब प्लांट्स, और वहाँ के जो स्पेशली सब जो उसके बड़े बड़े ट्रीज बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं मुझे।
Nice.
यस,
Beautiful. Thank
यस,
you so much, Suhag. It was lovely talking to you. It was really beautiful looking at you and your plants. It's fantastic, I must say. Thank you very much. Now we go
विजया,
on to Arpita.
मैं एक बात बोलना चाहती
हाँ
हूँ।
हाँ, बोलिए ना।
थैंक यू वेरी मच, आपने मुझे मौका दिया। थैंक यू, बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे।
नहीं।
और मैं चाहती हूँ कि बार बार मौका दीजिए प्लीज। मैं बहुत सी बारे
डेफिनेटली।
में बोल सकती हूँ। मैं
डेफिनेटली।
क्राफ्ट करती हूँ,
अच्छा।
हैंडीक्राफ्ट करती हूँ।
हम्म।
मेरा पेशेंस है ओनली फॉर ब्राइड को मैं मेहंदी लगाती थी,
हाँ।
तो मेरा पेशेंस वहां से ही आर्ट्स मेरा चालू हुआ।
अच्छा।
ये लिपन आर्ट है, जो
हाँ।
एक कांच की बोतल सब लोग फेंक देते हैं, मैंने वेस्ट में से बेस्ट बनाया है। ये
अच्छा।
लिपन आर्ट है, ये मिरर वर्क है, ये मैं
हाँ।
बनाती हूँ। लास्ट में इस टाइम मैंने ये दिया बनाया है।
अच्छा। ओ,
जी,
ब्यूटीफुल
और
ब्यूटीफुल।
इसके अंदर लाइट है,
हाँ हाँ।
ये लाइट ऑन होती है।
अच्छा, सो बैटरी है।
हाँ, बैटरी वाली।
बैटरी है, अच्छा। वाओ,
हाँ,
कॉम्बिनेशन
एक,
ऑफ ट्रेडिशन एंड मॉडर्निटी।
हाँ, हाँ,
यस।
ये फिर ऐसे दिखता है।
हाँ, मस्त, एक फल का जैसा दिखता है।
हाँ, हाँ, और
सुंदर।
रात को तो बहुत ही खूबसूरत लगता है।
है।
ये मेरी अर्पिता चली जाती है बाद में, ये मेरी छोटेपन से हॉबी है कि मैं आर्ट क्राफ्ट में करूं और कुछ ना कुछ नया बना के दूं। आपके लिए भी रखा है मैंने एक,
थैंक
संभाल के
यू।
रखा
थैंक यू। मैं एक पॉडकास्ट
है।
कॉर्नर बना रही हूँ, और मेरे गेस्ट ने
जी,
ना जो बनाया है छोटा छोटा रख के, आई एम मेकिंग अ
जी,
पॉडकास्ट कॉर्नर, बट समथिंग स्मॉल आई
जी,
कैन पुट
जी।
इट देयर, फिक्स इट
ओ,
स्मॉल।
उसमें से एक नाम मेरा भी रखना,
ऑफ
मैं भी
कोर्स,
आपको
आप
दूंगी,
तो है
मैं
ही
दूंगी।
है।
अर्पिता भी बनाती है, अर्पिता भी क्राफ्ट में एक्सपर्ट हो गई
Yes,
है,
I
बहुत
know.
अच्छा अच्छा बता,
Yes.
एक मेरा और एक अर्पिता का,
Ha,
दोनों।
ha, ha.
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much and take care and bye-bye. Yeah, it was lovely meeting your mother, Arpita. बहुत मजा आया. मजा आया.
Now you know where this chota packet comes from.
Ah, yes, very much. Chota velvety packet.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
So, Arpita, you
Yes.
have been working with girls, upskilling them,
Yeah.
educating them. So,
Hmm.
I would like to know more about your work with women and girls.
Hmm. Uh, so, in fact, Vijay, I've been extremely lucky that I got a chance to be a facilitator in my own college, that is SNDT University, my own alma mater. So I was teaching there voice culture and modulation, and
Mhm.
this was in the year 2017 se leke 2022 tak. So
Mhm.
5 years I had got the chance to upskill those girls. Now, when we talk about voice culture and modulation, I did not teach them dubbing as per se, but I taught them the necessary communication skills. You see, with very heavy heart, I tell you that today's Z millennials, or should I say the newbies, they falter in communication. They are excellent on the online communication. The social media communication is to the point, much better. But the minute we talk about a human connection, the minute we talk about a human communication, the face-to-face communication, that is where they falter a lot. And that's where I was a small cog in the wheel. So I taught these girls how to communicate verbally and non-verbally. So, of course, body language is included. And then I would teach them how to talk with confidence. So these are the few things that I did. And of course, you remember you spoke about the games?
Yes.
Remember we started the conversation?
Uh-huh.
So, personally, I never liked to be a professor क्योंकि मुझे खुद को lectures कभी पसंद नहीं थे, तो I never wanted to be a lecturer. And that is the reason why I tried to make my classes more fun by incorporating games into it. So we would include indoor games as well, we would include outdoor games as well. जैसे वर्ड गेम्स हो गए, पजल्स हो गया, ड्राइंग गेम्स हो गई, वो सारी चीजें इंक्लूड करके आई वुड टीच दीज गर्ल्स कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग and using proper language. Very, very important. Vocabulary building exercises by these fun activities. So they would have fun, and at the same time, they are learning while they are having fun. So मुझे मुझे अभी याद है कि मैं कॉलेज के दिन में जैसी थी, I again became a teenager for my girls. So we used to have a lot of fun playing the games and at the same time having these deep heart-to-heart conversations like I'm having with you right here.
Yeah, I remember when I was teaching also, there used to be a very popular TV show called What's the Good Word? And I would
Oh,
use that, in my sociology and psychology tutorial, especially. It was great fun. Yeah. But I'm curious
I've
about one thing. Why did you
yes.
join all girls SNDT University, all girls college?
So what happened is that initially I fell in love with the college. I had first been to SNDT University when I was, I believe, in ninth standard with my cousin who was a student there.
Uh-huh.
And when I visited the college, it was love at first sight. I fell in love with the college building. And that's how I decided that I want to study in this college. And as luck would have it, I wanted to be a designer. And this fashion and textile designing is one of the major, courses which are available in SNDT University as part of the home science culture. So that is the reason why I joined, the all girls college. In fact, you know what the interesting part is? It has been an all girls college for a very long time. There was a turning point where they decided to have 2% gentlemen. So
Oh.
2% boys to come and study with the girls. Whoever wanted to study whichever course, because हर किसी को लगता था कि this is not right that the courses are available only for girls. Why can't boys be dietitians? Why can't boys be designers? Why can't boys be counselors, etc., etc.? They did have the 2%, but they stopped it the next year. The boys were so intimidated by the super confident girls that they did not continue. They did not continue the next year. They ran away. So they stopped the admission of the boys. क्योंकि फिर कोई आना ही नहीं चाहता था. Initially, boys बहुत खुशी खुशी आए कि अरे, it's a girls' college and we're going to meet so many girls around. But when there are so many girls around, there's so many girls around.
Yes. No, I have a very soft corner for SNDT University. My mentor, Dr. Suma Chitnis, was the vice chancellor of SNDT, and she was also a close friend of my mother's. A wonderful lady, really wonderful lady.
Right.
Yeah. So I hear that you have a new venture now.
So yes, something really, really different. And I got the thought process, the conception was like this. Diwali was approaching. It was the end of August, and everybody was looking for a gift to be given for Diwali. I love candles, basically, and I absolutely go gaga with different fragrances and exotic mixes. Whenever I would go to buy candles, either they're extremely high priced, the ones that I want, or they are not up to the mark. And then if I need to find something within the same family, the same fragrance family, it would take a lot of hunting to do. So I thought, why don't I give something like a bundle of joy, aka खुशियों की पोटली, which a person can use or the person can gift, which is entirely usable. Vijaya, this is my personal experience. During festive seasons or during special occasions, we are often inundated with gifts that we may not use ever.
Absolutely.
They're just hanging and there are these sometimes useless pieces of crockeries and cutleries that we really don't use. And क्या होता है that inadvertently you also pass it down to somebody else. So you get it as a gift and you give it as a gift. What is the point? So I thought that why not be one of those people who gives a gift which is meaningful, which is full of love, light, and happiness. And that is a tagline of my Khushiyon Ki Potli, which is called as love, light, and happiness. So I give you a love, then there is a light, there are candles, different kind of candles, diyas, pearl candles, and the happiness is my aroma melts, which is something which is like a candle, but it does not have a container. So it is a wickless candle which you can warm and you can get amazing aromas that fill your room with beautiful, delectable fragrances. So that is how it all came into fruition, and थोड़ा research किया, थोड़ा find out किया what can work, how aromatherapy works, because I wanted to make it very, very, usable and likable by people, and at the same time therapeutic. So I had to make sure that the fragrance oils that I use are hypoallergenic. Nobody gets allergies with it. Nobody has any sensitivities with it. So I use premium quality oils, which generally are used for your, your cosmetic products as well. So your shampoos and your bath products and stuff like that, I use those grade of oils. So they are beautiful, they are subtle, and at the same time, they're very wholesome. That is my.
What a lovely sensory experience, it's a total sensory experience. So I was at ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology, where I gave a talk. And there,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So there I heard that today, they're making natural colors, food colors very
Yes,
easily and
yes,
easy on the pocket too. But as
yes,
yet, they've not been able to get the aromas and the
yes,
flavors and the fragrances, to suit the pocket of the common man. So there's a lot of
correct,
research still going on into
yes,
fragrances and aromas and all that. I think
yes,
it's
yes.
wonderful today talking to you, Arpita. Had a wonderful
Thank you
time
so
meeting
much.
your mother. It was really nice. And what I liked is the way your mother has inspired you to take up gardening, to inculcate a
Absolutely,
love for nature. I think hats off to
absolutely.
her. We need women like that, absolutely we need mothers like that to inculcate love for nature in children.
It just takes one right guru to train a lot of students to get to the right place. So thank you very much, Vijaya. I'm sure that you are doing your bit. And it's such a pleasure talking to you. I can't tell you this is probably the first time that I'm doing a live podcast, a video podcast with somebody, and you've made me so comfortable. I'm not conscious for a minute that I'm live on camera and we are doing this, and it's being recorded. So thank you so much, Vijaya, for this lovely opportunity.
Thank
And I
you.
really hope and I really
Again,
pray
yeah,
that your podcast gets, even better and better and better views every day, day by day.
the
कहते हैं ना हिंदी
message.
में एक कहावत है, दिन दूनी रात चौगनी तरक्की आपकी हो, यही भगवान से दुआ है.
Thank you very much, and God bless you. The message has to go, so that
Yeah,
everybody contributes for the well-being of the people and planet. That is what
absolutely.
I would like to, propagate and all. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much.